Yeah! Yeah! Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? What? Yeah! Y'all ready to play some football?
Stop right there. I know this is how I normally handle business. However, this is a very, very special occasion in honor of this awesome Godzilla figure that I'm about to review. Momentarily, I will be joined by my awesome, most beautiful wife, Sandra. So, in honor of that special occasion, let's just do the credits a little bit differently this time. Oh, by the way, Jeffrey, I got you. I hope you're happy. All right, roll it. Look at here, Miss Thing. How you doing?
All right, babe. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a minute. How you doing?
I'm doing great since you're beside me now.
Yeah, it was great. What's going on, people? April 2000, right back at you with another figure review. And today, I'm doing along with my beautiful wife, Sandra. Say hello.
Hello.
I'm doing the X-Plus 30cm Godzilla 2001 for my wife's favorite film in the Godzilla franchise. And my favorite film in the Millennium series, GMK, Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Attack. This is the Yuji Sakai version. And as you can see, we got the figure here, the awesome figure here. And since my wife loves GMK, I had to have her here. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. When's the last time you've been here? It's been a minute, right?
It has.
The last time was, I think we were talking about G-Fest, right? Was the last time you've been up here on a video?
I think I did something after G-Fest.
It's been a while. It's been a long time. But this is such a cool occasion. But I'm glad to have my wife here. Thank you for doing this once again. As you know, we go into the box. You know, this is an awesome figure, but we got to go into the box first. So let's do the box. And as you can see, great artwork. I really do dig the Yuji Sakai 30cm boxes, as well as the Gigantic series, the one Gigantic series figure from Yuji Sakai, with the picture of the face in the back, the figure here in the forefront, Godzilla 2001, Yuji Sakai, Model Collection, 30cm, the Japanese language title of the film, Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah. Great artwork. Like artwork.
Absolutely.
So there you go. Legal drawing on the back, and that's pretty much it with the box. So let's get into the figure. Matter of fact, this is yours, and I'll get mine up here. So, since you're the queen GMK around these parts, first impressions, what do you think? What do you like? What do you love? Tell me.
Well, I like the design of the suit of this figure. It's very nice. It's very detailed. You pretty much can't go wrong with GMK to me, because that's, you know, I love it. But some of the things that I really like about the larger GMK figure is the mouth and the fierceness of the way the figure looks. And this also projects in the same mannerisms to me that I like it, even though it's standing up more instead of humped over.
That's the whole point. And as a matter of fact, that will be coming up in a few seconds with size comparisons. I'm going to bring all the GMKs that we have here. And I'm going to echo the same sentiments. The figure is really, really beautiful. It's more of an upright version, like my wife said. To me, it's more of a suit accurate version of the GMK. With the gigantic one, we know they're stylized. Then the 30 centimeter, it does resemble the GMK suit in certain scenes of the movie. The 25 centimeter, I'm not really a fan of. I don't have it, but I'm not really losing sleep for not having it. So, but this one really captured the suit perfectly. Charcoal gray skin, the attention to detail on the skin is very cool, amazing. The dorsal plates, really good. I do like the tail here. It's very has a dynamic tail, elegant the way it's like curving up and then going up a little bit. I really do enjoy the sculpt of the tail as well as the pose. What do you like about the pose on this figure?
Well, I just think it also depicts the fierceness of this figure, especially being with the movie. You see Godzilla standing up, the GMK, and I just think it, it's pretty much spot on as far as the movie, and I think it's just a beautiful design.
As far as fierceness, is that what attracts you most to the GMK? Since that's your favorite movie and that's your favorite suit incarnation of Godzilla, correct?
Right.
So is it because of his fierceness, of his evilness that attracts you to the suit?
Well, to me, I don't think he's evil. I just think...
Oh, he's evil. He's definitely evil.
No, he's not evil to me. He's not evil. I just think that he is down to business. And he just, that suit to me depicts that he's fierce, that he is on a mission, and he's going to accomplish it. And to me, if Godzilla is going to defend or protect or anything like that, he needs to look like he's going to do it.
Right.
So
with that being said, do you prefer Godzilla as the villain? Because he's clearly the villain in this film. Do you prefer him as the villain, or do you prefer him as like a superhero? Do you prefer him as an anti-hero? What's your favorite characterization of Godzilla?
He's a superhero to me.
But as far as like...
I don't think he's... to me, that's why I like the figure. You don't have to be cute to protect people. You can carry yourself, any kind of way. And look, I just think he's intimidating to these, because he's always fighting bigger monsters. It's not like he's fighting the people. So he needs to look, to me, intimidating to these big monsters that he's fighting, instead of looking like, Barney, so,
Barney.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather have GMK protect me than having something that looks like Barney's, so I'm going to get you, whatever. But so, that's, I know it's kind of a little warped, but I want somebody or something that I feel like is going to protect me and could come across that way, then, not.
That's an interesting point of view, especially when it comes to the GMK. Obviously, GMK, if he was to protect, not a bad protector that they have. Very interesting point. But going back to the figure, the pose is cool. The paint scheme is awesome. The way they got the eyes perfectly. The teeth are sculpted really well. The mouth is sculpted really well. This is the standard. We don't have the ripboard that came with the blue LED dorsal plates. We're fine with the standard. It's just that the whole overall presentation of this figure is really amazing. The Yuji Sakai line is, even though it's part of X-Plus, it's kind of separate. They kind of go a little bit extra, do the extra mile when it comes to the detail, with the ruggedness of the texture of the skin. It looks more like a statue. That's how much detail was put into this figure. It came out, I believe, middle of February. Once again, Jeffrey, I know you've been wanting us to do this for a while, so thank you for being patient with us. But yeah, it came out mid-February, and it's been we just been enjoying it ever since. My wife got hers downstairs next to a computer. I got mine upstairs here in the man cave. But yes, we really do enjoy this figure. We really do recommend it if you do want to get it. Just don't spend too much for it, because it's going on what, like a month and a half since it came out. So when figures like this, they're very wanted by collectors. When they hit the aftermarket, they just shoot up in price. So the time is now. If you want to get it before you have to so you won't spend too much for it. We really do recommend this figure. Let's go first with size comparisons. Let's go with the babe, do me a favor. Hand me that Godzilla 91 right there beside King Ghidorah. There you go. Now, out of all the Sakais, this is like my favorite version. Between the two, these two are like the baddest versions of Godzilla, the most intense, the most intimidating, in a way, kind of most hateful versions. I am Team 91 versus the GMK. I like the GMK. I like the GMK, but you know, when it comes to powerful versions of Godzilla, I'm firmly behind the Team 91. But they both are awesome figures.
Oh, okay, well, I'm going to jump in here for a second. I know you like 91. But look at the face. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even have his mouth open. Need I say anymore? GMK rules.
He doesn't need his mouth open for him to be intimidating.
That's okay. It's okay.
We've already discussed it at one point. The majority of the house with GMK. I guess I'm the devil's advocate of the family. I'm with Team 91. That's a good thing about having different opinions. It's always a good thing. Don't you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
So yes, this is size comparison. Of course, the GMK has a little bit of size to them, just a little bit, but they both are amazing pieces, especially from X-Plus and Yuji Sakai. Very, very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Okay, folks, let me interrupt this awesome programming that you're watching to do another size comparison, of course, with the Sakai GMK. And here is built up Monster Maker 28 King Ghidorah from GMK. And as you can see, they scale really well with each other. I think in comparison, I think the King Ghidorah is a little bit taller. I think the GMK Godzilla and King Ghidorah were kind of pretty much the same height. But as you can see, they do scale well with each other. X-Plus, please make this at some point. Please make this. I'm not asking for much because I'm a huge King Ghidorah fan. But if you could please get around to making this at some point, we would really do appreciate it. I know the King Ghidorah from GMK is kind of a mixed bag amongst Godzilla fans, but and I was in that camp early before. But after watching the movie again and watching it over and over again, I can appreciate the GMK King Ghidorah. I won't say he's my favorite version of it, but he's one of my favorite versions. But I think that y'all will do extremely well business if you will bring out this King Ghidorah at some point from GMK. And especially since this year is the 15th anniversary of GMK, so maybe y'all can make it happen at some point, if not this year, and at some point in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much the size comparisons. I just want to splice this in while my wife and I are having a great conversation about this figure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get on back to the program. Thanks, folks. All right, let's go with another size comparison. Matter of fact, let's get all the GMKs up in here. Here we go. And here comes your favorite. Here comes your favorite. Here you go. Let's see, try and bring him in here. Right, put the base in this tail. Okay. I know you're happy now. Let's try and twist him around a little bit. There you go.
It's like heaven right here. It's just like
GMK heaven. Never heard that before.
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. The Gigantic series. GMK, my wife's favorite figure of all time. And this is the 30cm GMK. Now, as relates to the suit accuracy of the suit in the film, obviously this is stylized, so the GMK, the Gigantic, doesn't need to be in that conversation. However, the 30cm, he does capture the GMK in certain scenes. Like whenever Godzilla is like leaning over like this, there are times where Godzilla is upwards like this, and there are times he's like this in the film. So I think at least the 30cm captures more so the suit in the film. Of course, this is Godzilla was how he was originally supposed to be in the film, but they couldn't accomplish that with the actor inside the suit. It wasn't possible suit-wise actor-wise. It wasn't possible for Godzilla to be in this pose in the film. But yes, all of these are great. Like I said, we don't have the 25 centimeter GMK. We're fine. But this is how Godzilla, the Sakai GMK looks how Godzilla was majority of the film, but this is how Godzilla looked in some scenes. Now that we have all these here, I gotta ask you, put you on the spot here. I kind of know where you're gonna go with this, but if you had to rank them from, I guess, good to best, because I know with GMK there's no worse or bad. So where would you rank them from 3 to 1?
Let's see. It would probably be 3, 2, and 1.
So you find the 30 better than the Sakai?
I do.
Okay. But they're all awesome.
They are.
They are. Okay.
They are.
Okay. Wow. You know what? I thought you was gonna put. I know the gigantic was gonna be first. I knew that, but I thought maybe you was gonna put the Sakai number 2 and the 30 is number 3.
I'm gonna tell you why. To me, I have a thing with the mouth.
Okay.
Okay. And also, I fell in love with this GMK because it was leaning over and it looked like it was on attack.
Right.
And because of the mouth.
Okay.
And because it looks fierce.
Okay.
And to me, GMK, this one would come in number 2. And that would be number 3. Even though it's setting up, it's a beautiful figure. And the consistency of the detail is awesome. You know, but I have a look, for me, depicted in my mind of what
Godzilla was in the film.
Yes, and what appeases me.
Right.
And so that's why I have them in that kind of order.
But you still love the figure nonetheless.
I absolutely love them all. I mean, I wouldn't get tired of any GMK. I mean, it's absolutely the best figure out there.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes.
You heard it. You heard it. The best figure out there. The best incarnation of Godzilla out there. Wow, that's great. You know what? Let's just jump head first into our thoughts of the film just a little bit. You know, that's how I do. We watched it last night. Just you know, I've seen it lots of times. My wife has too, but we haven't seen it like in a while. So we had just look at it, enjoy it more for what it was, and refresh our memories of it. My thoughts of GMK. Well, first let me ask you, babe. Watching the film last night, I know you enjoyed it, but what did you enjoy most about GMK? Was it Godzilla himself, the way he was unstoppable and all that good stuff? Was that impressed you the most about GMK?
Well, there's a few things that I enjoy about the whole movie. The score that was with
yes, the score.
I absolutely love that. Matter of fact, I was at work last week and I kept humming the tune. And I said, yep. And my coworkers are looking at me like, I said, just leave me alone. I'm in my moment. So anyway, I enjoyed the score. I also just love the film, period. It's beautiful. I mean, it's the color, just the whole thing with GMK, just everything that was in it. Mothra, Baragon.
It's a dark story.
It's a dark story, but it's a
colorful.
beautiful. It is
film.
beautiful. I guess, the way it was written, it was just absolutely, some of the scenes were just kind of breathtaking to me last night. And I just really enjoyed watching it again. And I was just really, I guess I was in that moment and I wasn't focusing on anything else. So it kind of just I absorbed it all up like a sponge last night and just really sat and enjoyed the whole thing.
It was a good film experience.
It was.
Kind of like The Revenant.
Very good.
Right?
Yes,
The Revenant.
right.
Because my wife loves The Revenant.
Yes. That's awesome movie.
So, GMK is more of a film experience. And you know what? That's great. That really is great. Especially when you can go back and watch these films. You have to watch them numerous of times. Basically, it doesn't get old to you.
It doesn't get old, and you catch more every time you watch a movie over and over and over.
That you enjoy. You will always capture something or see something you did not see because everything else is so familiar. So when you catch something that you didn't catch the other 15 times,
it was like, oh yeah, wow, I didn't notice that before. Just like the conversation about the Godzilla that we was watching the other day about it when it's flying backwards.
Oh yeah. We're gonna just leave down the cutting room floor since we have kids.
Yeah.
But far as me, I once again I echo the same sentiments as my wife does. To me, and let me just say this, from another perspective, I like the Millennium series, which is where this film is. It's from the Millennium series, and I think that as far as the stories that we got in the Millennium series are really good. I also think that after re-examining everything, the Millennium series is the only Godzilla film series that does not have a Godzilla film where Godzilla is in it by himself. And I think out of all the stories in the Millennium series where Godzilla really should have been in the film by himself, where it could have been a good film or at least a good concept, it's GMK. I think that the idea of Godzilla being possessed by the souls that were lost in the Pacific conflict, World War II, the idea of this fierce incarnation of Godzilla being possessed, being at least more evil, or at least have more rage inside of him. Of him being alone, of just a simple story of Godzilla versus humanity. I think that should have been really something that really should have been explored. I think after what Mr. Shinsuke Kaneko did with the awesome Heisei Gamma films, on the way they were very dark and very consistent and very amazing from a kaiju perspective as well as from a filmmaking perspective. I think had he been given free reign to have just a Godzilla film with just him by himself, with this storyline of him being like full of rage and full of the souls, I think that could have been a really awesome Godzilla film. And they showcase in the film where up until when Godzilla is when he appears, they basically treat Godzilla as a joke. At least some of the characters do. A few characters recognize what Godzilla, recognize what he was, what he is. Because mind you, just basically it's a reboot, or at least it goes back to the original '54 film. It doesn't acknowledge any other films in the series, so it just leaves off the '54. So some characters, there's a couple characters in the film, recognize what Godzilla was, recognize how powerful of a threat that he was back in the day, and they have chosen not to forget about it. But the younger generation, chose to forget about Godzilla. I think even one character, or at least one insignificant character, said he would like to have Godzilla as a pet. So basically, they treat Godzilla as a joke. So when Godzilla does finally show up to destroy the world, even when you have King Ghidorah, Mothra, and Baragon oppose him, he just goes right through him like a giant tank. Basically, Godzilla saying to me, is like, okay, you forgot who I am? You forgot what I can do? Okay, let me show you why you should never forget who I am.
And that is why I like his face and his look. Right.
And that's why I say that if out of all the stories of the Millennium series that could have benefited from Godzilla being alone by himself, kind of like how Shin Godzilla is going to be, maybe, I think GMK was the perfect opportunity to explore that concept. But however, the film we got is really awesome anyway. But I just have that, I just think about that sometimes. Like, what would happen if this version of Godzilla was just in the film by himself, just showing him destroy the world, without any monsters opposing him, just us humanity against this evil, ticked off, almost supernatural, unholy version of Godzilla. I really would love to see how that would have played out. However, the film that we got is really awesome. We highly do recommend it. And that's basically our thoughts on GMK. We can go on and on about GMK, but we know that y'all don't have like 25 hours to sit there, or 24 hours a day to sit there and listen. But basically, that concludes our review of the Yuji Sakai Godzilla 2001 from GMK, the Yuji Sakai version. From Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Attack, my wife's favorite film in the franchise. Check out the Facebook groups about to mention: Toku Legion, Toho Kaiju Union, the X-Plus Collectors Facebook group, which we are a part of, the Godzilla Collectors Facebook group, Sci-Fi Labyrinth, Japanese Toy and Figure Services, and check out KaijuAddicts.com for all things X-Plus. Once again, that's KaijuAddicts.com. And babe, this has been really good. I thank you so much for being a part of this.
Sure.
And bringing some beautiful eye candy to the videos, because seeing my fat ugly face every time is just You know, I gotta freshen it up. I gotta liven it up. And what better to do it than the most beautiful woman in the world, who also happens to be a huge GMK fan, and I love her so much for that. So yeah. So any final thoughts on the Yuji Sakai recommendation? What do you say?
Absolutely, you need to get one,
All right,
or two, or three.
You heard it here first, folks. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this, babe. I love you. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for watching once again. And I will see y'all again on this figure and move review. All right? Y'all take it easy.